CLF stands for the Coalition for a Livable Future. We're a diverse partnership made up of organizations and individuals, and our goal is to create healthy, equitable, and sustainable communities in the Portland-Vancouver region. We created the Regional Equity Atlas to help us understand the conditions we live in, to help us see the challenges and the barriers that communities face. The Equity Atlas helps us visualize how people and communities access resources and opportunity. When we look at our region over the last 2 decades, we see dramatic shifts in demographics. Populations of color have grown and are now a significant part of the region's population. But we can also see that people with low incomes and communities of color have moved away from the city core to outer-lying areas. This displacement has broken up communities and made it more difficult for people to get to and from work. This map shows housing affordability patterns in the region. The lighter the color, the lower the housing cost. Although the housing is more affordable in these areas, it does come at a cost. It is often substandard, and this leads to adverse effects on people's health.
Le nyani yuwe da le grini bako bake dekuoki ni sumu tublo to komi koplo le pete kloro bako mi kero diniada a o bamni le dito pelu bale tahawa wo tutu o bamo isumu le badote mo pemi o jiji du ka badola isu pale hipokopo wo ni loko kupeda tau sukle de tatku takku mo bamni le poe patuo pu ni pele pukui pu le kopio pu ni petuduni bata kweta ya bamo le pe tu pe de takweta ya o na ki petena pe ba ko le sumenya tatu tamlalo poli de o ba de takweta ya le ko ba de tadu toto ko
Access to essential resources decreases dramatically outside the urban core. 9 out of the 10 neighborhoods with the best access to grocery stores are in Portland, west of I-205. The best transit is also located relatively close to downtown Portland. In more rural areas, access to food and transit are significant issues, especially for people with low incomes.
The biggest challenge is we're too rural, too far away from jobs. No transportation, we don't have any type of bus service out here because of gas prices, and you have to have a car. You have to, have enough money to keep a car running to live out in a rural area. We are approximately 15 to 20 miles to a grocery store that's a small grocery store. If we weren't here to help support them, they have to go a long ways to get food.
We have no bus transportation from here to Malala or Estacada or anywhere outside, the community here. I rode my horse today. I ride my horse to the food bank because, like I said, I don't have transportation, and she's my means of transportation right at this moment. So I ride my horse when I come to the food bank.
It'd be wonderful to have a grocery store, but the population isn't large enough to warrant a business making a whole bunch of money.
Behind the data in the Equity Atlas maps are people. People with stories and insights that help us comprehend, in a more personal way, the barriers that different communities face. CLF has been working with individuals and organizations on a storytelling project to both photograph and film their own stories. When people have a voice, when they have a means to participate in the decisions that affect them, we all benefit from that shared knowledge.
And it just kind of gives a place that people can come and have unity. We do classes once a month. This last class we had a gentleman who walked from 107th and Mill Plain. That's the heart of it, is to get good nutrition out to everybody and make it accessible. He's working today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, working today. And we've been privileged to have the Latino populace here to show us some new things that we haven't done before. I run into him all the time. He's become my friend. You don't need to speak the same language to communicate.
Right.
That's what I love about the gardens, brought everybody together. Cucumbers. Oh, gracias.
Oh, thank you.
Visually, people judge a community by what they see rather than by the people who live there. And when people see things, they assume things, and that's what we don't want. We want people to look and see beyond some weeds and look at the people who are living and working here every day.
Sharing our stories, considering multiple perspectives, means standing in someone else's shoes and seeing life from their point of view.
So the thought is basically to not make assumptions about why others act the way they do, and to have compassion for them. You know, place yourself in their shoes. What if this happened to me? The work you're doing is exactly, I think, what's necessary. There's just a lack of information for people who have never been homeless on what it's like to be homeless. And that was certainly true for me back in the day. I mean, I'd be the same person going, you know, why should I give them some money? You know, I work hard for my money. Well, my perspective has changed dramatically on that. I should help them out because they're my brother. They're a fellow human being. We're all in this together. Yeah, just that. Just, it's one world, you know.
What I think is like sharing his story to each other is the best way to open doors to each other.
We like storytelling. That's where you express yourself, and so many people, you know, come. They have a story, they have things to say, but they don't have opportunity to tell their story. So the next step is how we can work together with all those organizations who are working hard to reduce disparity and promote equity in Portland metro area.
Equity is the means to healthy and prosperous communities where everyone can meet their basic needs and have opportunities to succeed and shape their future. CLF is here today because we're a coalition, and our accomplishments are built on the strength of our communities. We will continue to engage partners across the region in telling their stories and using the Equity Atlas to support their work, with concerted effort by all of our communities, with engagement, advocacy, and a willingness to listen and learn. That's how we move forward to an equitable and just future for everyone.